Welcome to the story of how Dominique Barrett became King Vader. We chat about his first horror film and how he's bringing urban culture to anime. Hello friends of Build, I'm coming to you from the sunny New South Wales south coast, and we are checking in with a new mate on the other side of the planet. If you've heard of King Vader, then he needs no introduction, but if you haven't, well, he's as mad as a cut snake, a filmmaker as creative as they come, with a mass cult following who packs so much heart and soul. Please welcome King Vader, or as his mum likes to call him, Dominique Barrett. G'day, King Vader!
Hey, thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you again.
So where are you streaming from? I mean, you've gone all the way from flipping burgers at Wendy's to you right now. Like, what is your position right now?
So right now I am in California, and I'm in this city called Glendora. So yeah, it's a nice, quiet, peaceful place, and I just enjoy the peacefulness of it all. It's really nice.
The serenity. That's what we like.
Yeah, serenity,
Serenity well in Australia. You're tapping in. I like it. So set up King Vader for our audience. How did you become king? Why King Vader? And why do people see you differently from other YouTube and internet stars?
So, I feel like I became King Vader when I decided to, instead of being a watcher on like social media, I decided to become a creator. And the second I decided that, that's kind of like where I needed to find an identity for who I am, And like, I always loved Darth Vader. I was a huge Star Wars fan growing up. And the king part, that kind of just got inspired by this other creator who was also doing this thing. His name was King Batch. And like, I'm seeing him do his thing, and I'm like, wow, like, he really carries himself like a king. And I'm like, that's kind of how I want to carry myself throughout my career. So I was like, if he could be King Batch, I could be King Vader. And that's how the legacy started. And I feel like what separates me from other creators, I just feel like, I'm a very genuine person when it comes to who I am, what my goal is, and how much work I'm going to put in to make that goal happen. And I feel like people who, join this team and who are supporters, they know that they're here for a journey from like the guy who started from the bottom to chasing up this mountain to the top. And it's like, the more videos I create and drop, the more they're rooting and believing that this can actually become reality for this kid. So yeah, I feel like that's what separates me.
That's very cool. And what is that ultimate goal? Do you know what that is yet?
Yes. So the ultimate goal is for me to become the greatest director of my generation. That's the ultimate goal.
So strong, it's so simple, so effective, so powerful. And what is that genre? I mean, you're pretty genre bending, really.
So I kind of feel like I don't really have a genre yet, because it's like, at first I thought I was really just going to be doing like action stuff, like superheroes, but then like I started to go towards sci-fi and comedy, of course. And then recently on Halloween, I just did something more towards horror. So now I'm like, I want to be like a jack of all trades when it comes to filmmaking.
And anime as well, which just
Yes.
really expands your profile and your audience and your market. And what is interesting to me is you grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood as well. So who did you look to? And I mean, also anime is there aren't a lot of African Americans in anime. It's not that multicultural either. So who did you look to when you were growing up and getting inspired by these things or other things?
So when I was younger, I definitely, watching movies, playing video games, and watching anime, I didn't really have a lot of people to get inspired by, but I found that I was getting inspiration from these hobbies and side activities I was doing. Like, when it comes to anime, my favorite anime character to this day is Naruto. He's on the shirt. And because his character, I feel it's very similar to who I am as a person. Like he was a kid who, with this big goal, this big dream, he wants to become the Hokage, the most respected ninja in his village. But he obviously is underqualified for such a position. And because of that, everyone around him, you know, they doubt him. It's just like, that's impossible. But this story is about watching him become the underdog to the, you know, obvious choice, the obvious decision, because he puts in hard work to make that a reality.
Shh, mom, be quiet.
Oh, it's like, I'm on the
Was there one video that was that tipping point for you where you were like, I see myself in that person, I could one day be a better representation of that person and inspire others?
I don't know. I feel like it started with Hood Naruto, but when it comes to me as an overall director, I feel like it definitely happened with my recent project, Don't Disrespect Halloween 4. I feel like a lot of people are really complimenting me for the filming, the directing routes, and just what we put into the overall project as a filmmaker. So it's like, you know, being complimented as a filmmaker for this project is really showing me like, okay, this goal is possible because like people are seeing it.
Yeah. And what about the people in your videos as well? And your crew, the Wolf Graphic. Tell me about your posse.
So Wolf Graphic, we're a team of very talented creators that all do a lot of different things. But I feel like our core, we're all directors and actors, but we separate off as like some are stand-up comedians, some are great script writers, some are musicians and producers. So it's like we have a lot of different lanes that we want to go into. And, you know, so apart, you know, because of like COVID and just a lot of different situations, we've had to be separate, but we're also still working and doing different fields. But then we come together and we can do a big project like Netflix Dreams Episode 1. And, you know, everyone can see what's possible when Wolf Graphic works together. And that's just something about us. Like we've been working together ever since we was younger. Like when I was like, I want to say like 16, 17, and I'm 23 now. So it's like, you know, we've been doing this together for a while, and over time we grew more as not just a team, but a family. So, yeah.
And how important is that to have those people that you trust and that really understand you, surrounding you as your crew? Is that advice that you would give to people forging their own path, is to have that support system?
Yes. I definitely think it's very important to have that support system, whether it be a team, close friends, family. But another thing about it that I would advise people is that it doesn't start off, you don't start off with the support team all the time. Not saying that it's never like that, but just speaking from my experience and even watching my inspirations, it's like in the beginning, a lot of people aren't going to believe in what you believe in. And that's fine. You know, a lot of people, they get upset because people can't see what they can see, you know, and all it is that you just have to show them, you have to show the people what you see. So it's like, you know, in the beginning, you're not really going to have that support system, but you providing the proof by, you know, hard work and dedication and providing that proof, those people are going to want to support, or they're going to want to help because now they see what you are seeing. So I feel like a support system is important, but not in the beginning. It's going to happen though. And once you have it, then you can do a lot more because it's not just you. So yeah.
And that's probably applies to your fans as well, your cult following, which is probably over 4 million by now, right? On all your collective platforms. What are your fans like? Tell me what a fan is when you meet them. How do you describe your
So I actually was just filming at a park, and I met a group of supporters today. And I mean, it's very interesting because like most of them are very, very shy, you know, because they don't know if it's me yet. And then sometimes they do things like they might play one of my videos out loud and they're like looking to see if I look. And then like, you know, usually it would be me, and I'm like, cause people, I don't know, like I'm just a very like nice and open person. So I'm like, hey, like what's going on? You know, and they get excited. So I walk over there, we talk, we chop it up for a little bit. And then, you know, I ask if they want to take a photo or something. Cause sometimes they're like too nervous to ask themselves, but it's just like, I try to treat every moment, like it's their moment, because you know they are the reason that I'm where where I am in this position, and I, you know, have to show appreciation. And by that, I try to give everyone their moment, because it's like I don't know if I'm ever going to see this person, you know, Zachary or whoever again. So it's like I try to give everyone their moment, because I try to imagine me in that position and seeing someone that has inspired me through my phone, and like seeing them in person is it's so unreal. So having a conversation that I can remember, and you never know, that could change someone else's life, and that could turn them into their own person, just because we had a 2-minute, 3-minute, 5-minute conversation, you know? So I try to give everyone their moment and their time.
Bet you have changed quite a few lives by just taking a few selfies here and there. Another thing that's fantastic about you is you do everything. You write, you produce, you direct, and you also star and you edit your own content and films. Does that make you a better film director and filmmaker? Is that important to you to tick all of the boxes, or are you just a crazy control freak?
I definitely think being able to do all these positions allows me to become a better filmmaker, because I know what it takes to make it happen. Because, you know, I'm playing all roles, or most of them that I can at least. And doing that, it also allows me to problem solve really fast on set. Because it's like, if someone comes up to me as the director and they say like, this is the problem, I almost feel like I can't say I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I have to know a solution to the problem when it's presented to me. And because I play multiple positions, I feel like I think in advance about certain things, and like nothing is too complex to handle on set. So I feel like being in a lot of positions allows a filmmaker to know what's possible, and it allows them to also open up like their range of what they can do. So I definitely think like I'm not going to advise it for anybody, because it's not easy. You know, I want to say that right now. It's not easy, but doing it allows you to really understand what it takes to create the final product.
And a perfect example of that is your first psychological thriller, which you mentioned before, Don't Disrespect Halloween, Part 4. What's been the response to that? Because the behind the scenes stuff is wild. I mean, it in itself is just bonkers. So yeah, tell me about that process and what people's first reactions were when they saw that.
So, you know, first reaction from most people, they're like, whoa, it's 45 minutes? Wow, hold on. I thought I was just watching a video. And that's like the first initial, like, you know, reaction. And then when people see it, they're like, oh, wait, like this is like a film, like, and then I got people in the comments and they're like, you should add like movie to the title, and you should add this and that. And, you know, I feel like people really appreciate how much of a step this was for my last project. And that's just one thing for me as a creator, that I make my job for my next video to be my best video. And that's exactly what we did. And I feel like people should expect nothing less. Like even the video after this is gonna be, you know, so it's like we go up and up and up. And like the response has been really crazy. Like I feel like I really hit the nail with what I was trying to do. And so this year I'm playing Pennywise for the entire part 4. Now, I introduced Pennywise in part 3 last year. And when I introduced him, everyone was like, whoa, we really like how this Pennywise looks. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I might make him the main star in part 4. And then, you know, the main antagonist. And when I bring him in part 4, I just didn't realize like how much work that would take, you know, because that makeup takes an hour to put on. And I'm in that makeup a lot of different scenes. So it was like it was time management on set. You know, I had to figure out how I can direct while also prepping my makeup, while also getting the shot ready. And, you know, so it was like a lot of different things. But, you know, and then also, so while I'm prepping my makeup and directing, then I have to jump on in front of the camera and then get into the mindset of Pennywise. And the thing is, he's not just like a person, he's like a creature. So I had to really like throw myself out of my own like mind for a second so I can really embody this character in such a fast amount of time. But I feel like a lot of people have complimented me on how far I pushed my acting in this one. So I really appreciate that. And the comments just, you know, everyone seems pleased, and, you know, it's already at 2 million views. So like, you know, I'm happy, you know, and I already confirmed for them that I'm going to make a part 5. But the thing with part 5 is that I'm going to officially make part 5 next year. Don't Disrespect Halloween, the movie. So that one's going to be big.
You're describing an hour of makeup. That's just pretty standard for women. So now you know what it feels like. That is the story.
I understand.
And just finally, what's your next project? Because I've heard a little whisper about an episode 2 of Netflix Streams.
So we're definitely going to be starting off the year right with episode 2 of Netflix Streams. Episode 1, we made a revisioning of the Umbrella Academy, and we called ours the Raincoat Academy. And people loved it, and it was really dope to do and really fun. We played with a lot of different concepts. So we're going to be pushing on to episode 2. I can't say what we're doing, but I will say it's a fan favorite, and it's, you know, every one we do is a Netflix original. So this one is definitely going to be, I will say, action-packed. I feel like that's the only hint I can give. So it's going to be really nice.
Good enough for me. I cannot wait to see it. Thank you so much for chatting, Vader. It's been a pleasure, and you're an inspiration to so many young people, and it's very cool to see you do your thing. So good luck with everything, and we'll catch up next time once episode 2 of Netflix Streams is out. Woohoo! Action.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you.